Imagine, if you will, that you are a parent and that you and your child are leisurely flying in a plane over God's country of Canada, when all of a sudden, mysteriously, your plane begins to descend. When you awaken in the wreckage, you are only sure of one thing, and that is you must find food, water, weapons, and shelter before the hordes of cannibals and mutants eat you alive. I'm sure that won't happen, but if you are playing the Forest, that's absolutely going to happen to you. So what I'm here today with is a tier list for you to help out with one of those things, specifically your defenses. What's up, everybody? Good to see you, and welcome back to the Potato Boat YouTube channel. Today, that's exactly what we're doing. We are going through the best and the worst of all defenses and traps that you can make in the Forest to give you guys the cutting edge technology when it comes to defending yourself while you're taking a nap in the old cabin. So before we get into it, please make sure you go hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated, and thumbs up the video if you enjoy it. And after the tier list, go down to the comments section and let me know what you think. Was I right? Was I wrong? What would you have placed higher or lower? I'm really interested. You guys have left some amazing comments and some amazing feedback on our weapons tier list, so I expect no less. But today, let's get into the best traps and defenses in the Forest. And here is our tier list for the day. Real quick disclaimer, as always, this is just my opinion. This is what I like. This is what I choose. This is what I would say to use. Maybe you know something I don't know. If I misspeak, or you know some secret, like, amazing strat, put it down in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you have to say. You guys had some excellent feedback and excellent tips on the weapons tier list, so I'd like to see what you have here. But these are the tiers we are working with today. So tier 1, we have you sleep like a sweet little bab, knowing that you are safe. Nothing is getting to you. You know, when you awake in the morning, you will have the fresh smell of fresh air and fresh corpses around your base. Tier 2, you have you'll stop a rowdy mob or two, but you'll probably take some structural damage, but you'll probably be okay in the end. Tier number 3 is this can be useful, but probably not for defending your base and your life. You know, maybe it's a wee little thing that's situational, but maybe not a mainstay kind of deal. And finally, we have even the cannibals are literally laughing at you before they come and have you as a midnight snack. So that is our tier list today, and we're going to jump right into it with the wooden fence. Now, personally, I've only probably built 1 or 2 wooden fences to play around with and figure out what's going on. But for me, if I'm a cannibal and I roll up to your house and the main defense, the main thing to keep me out is a couple of cross-woven sticks, I'm probably going to use it as a toothpick after I eat your innards. So this one is going in the bottom tier. Even the cannibals are laughing at you if you build this. And I gotta say, because it's just basically the same thing throughout the game, the bones are also going in this tier. These are not defenses. They're broken super easily. I'm honestly not sure what you would use it for unless you're like building on the go, like a quick little structural defense. So if you know something that I don't, please feel free to let me know. But this is basically an invitation to kill me. I feel like if I build this, a cannibal's gonna see it and say, hey, that guy's kind of stupid, we can eat him, and it's going to be GG bots very quickly. So I do not recommend at all the stick fence or the bone fence. Now, the next one that I would also put in the cannibals are giggling at you as they feast on your toesies is the rope swing trap, the noose trap, whatever you want to call it. Literally, as like a cannibal run by, it does like the old cartoon wrap around the ankle and holds them up in a tree. They can still damage you. If you walk in front of them, they can still smack you and kill you. So it's not incredibly useful. I don't see why you would do this. It's a waste of good resources, and rope feels super hard to come by sometimes. So I don't recommend building this one at all unless you have, like, you know, you just really want to send a message. It's not a good message, but like, you know, hey, I'm gonna hang you by your toes, and like that's literally the only message I could see this sending. That, and I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm doing in building safe defenses around my house. So in the bottom tier, I have to add the noose trap, the ankle trap, whatever you want to call it. Now for our catapult, I have to put the catapult. Okay, I know there are people that are in love with the catapult. But personally, I have to put it in the can be useful, but probably not defending the base very well category. You can do some really cool stuff with the catapult. Anything that you can load into it, you can actually use it as like a secondary storage for those things, because you can continue to load in and out and take stuff out. But like with the amount of like maneuvering and like its positioning and all that kind of stuff, the catapult is going to fire one. So maybe if you build your base in like a mountain crevasse and you've like walled off the tops and your catapults at the back and they can only come from one way, maybe you're going to find something useful. But basically I just see this for the memes. Maybe again, there's something I'm missing and like it's incredibly hilarious and like it's something that everyone should use. But like the one time I built the catapult, I was extremely disappointed because, you know, it's just there. You can't like roll it around. Now if it was like, you know, like on wheels, that would be dope and also kind of break the game. But yeah, so for me, the catapult's definitely C tier. Now, when it comes to the Deadfall Trap, for me, I'm placing this baby S tier. You'll sleep like a baby knowing that you're safe, because this trap is incredible. If you've not built this trap, it's super easy to make. It's like 3 sticks and 3 logs, and it is an insta kill on mutants basically at all levels. It just drops and smacks and crushes, and it's super easy to build. It's super easy to place a bunch of these around your base, but also you only need 1 stick to reset it. So let's say that thing falls, it crushes you, or hopefully it doesn't crush you, crushes, you know, your enemies, and their body is there. There's a bone farm, dude. You go out, you take the body, you throw it on the fire, you cook yourself some bone armor. While you're waiting for that to finish, you go throw a stick back under it and it's ready to do more. In a recent video that me and I had my editor AFK playing with me as well, we put like 12 or 13 of these around a little base we built for an example for the tips video that's going to be coming out. And we had a bunch of enemies spawn just to see kind of how it went. And this was mostly what was around our base. And I can't tell you, go check out our tips video when it drops. Dude, I cannot tell you how many bodies were just scattered everywhere. This is an S tier trap. I don't think it will always insta kill the mutants, especially later into the game, but like 2-3 falls still seems to do the trick. Highly recommend it. S tier, absolutely love it. Now, the defensive wall spikes, I personally am going to place them at you'll stop a rowdy mob or two. Now, I don't think that these actually do any like damage, but it's one of those things that you build your fortress and stuff, and you build your walls, and it's really hard for any of the cannibals to get through it. They're gonna run themselves against it, and it's gonna be like some D-Day stuff, like, you know, they're just gonna be running in. It's really kind of hard to break unless they have like one of the big mutants like Cowman or whatever. These things will protect your walls, keep cannibals at bay. You'll hear them beating on them, so you'll know that cannibals are there without taking damage to your main wall or structures. And you can actually kind of use these on the fly. I remember in one of my first playthroughs, I put these around like a campfire and just saw how long I could stay there, and it lasts pretty long. Now, they don't link together very well. You have to place them perfectly, and there's definitely instances of, you know, cannibals just glitching through or jumping over. It happens, but I still think you have a best bet to have these somewhere around your base just to keep them from getting into a certain area. So for me, I'm gonna put these at they'll stop a mob or two. Now, right beside those, I'm absolutely putting the defensive walls. These things are sturdy, they are strong, they are literally, if you're going to like defend your base, you want to probably build these. There's a few other alternatives that I'll get to here in a second, but like it is to me, like between this and something else, it's like the choice, right? Like if I'm gonna build wood walls, these are them. They have good strong defense. This is what you build those walls around the things you want to keep safe, your save point, your gardens, your meat racks, all that kind of stuff. Now, these can be destroyed. Like if Cowman gets rowdy, dude, he's coming through and he's coming for a visit. But like, you know, if you have cannibals, it's gonna keep them out. You have like run-of-the-mill, just regular patrols, it's gonna keep them out. You're gonna be fine. You may not be like sleeping like a baby unless you had some of them deadfall traps like just outside. Like that would be kind of perfect. But you know, this is like one of your main building tools, so I highly recommend the defensive walls. And beside them, it's kind of cheating a little bit. I would add the defensive wall spike with the defensive wall spikes. They're like one thing you can build, but I can't separate them from the defensive walls because they're a part of it. They're an upgrade to the defensive walls. It gives it like 40% more health. So you're talking, you know, you're beating on the walls before and then it's going to survive. This is going to help them survive more. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they actually do any damage. They're just fortifications, so they're stronger against the cannibals and most of the mutants. So I usually build these on my walls when I build these kind of walls. Highly recommend it. So I'm putting them in the same tier because they go hand in hand. So that's a B tier. That's a rowdy mob for me. Back to the bottom of the list, we have our trip traps, our Molotov traps, our bomb traps, or whatever. Bro, okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm putting these in the bottom tier. Is there a situation where it's funny and or useful? Yes, but is it extremely destructive to the structures around it? Is it a one pop bang? Is it effective in killing a lot of things? I mean, it's not a good, in my opinion, they're a waste of your time. I would rather build a fatal funnel that I can kill stuff in or throw Molotovs in or something like that than rig these up, because I would rather just use the Molotovs or the bombs themselves than putting them on a string. Now, however, maybe you have put your base in a very special place that I'm unaware of, and like lining the path with these is like the go-to. That's awesome. I hate them. I've built them like twice, like a piece, and it's just, maybe that's not a big enough sample size, but just, I feel like especially the speedy cannibals never trip these. Like, they just giggle. They literally giggle as they run down your base to kill you because your traps are trash. Like, don't build these. Don't build these. These aren't worth your time. Now, next up on the list is the rope swing trap. It basically is a giant rock on a string with some spikes, and you have to put it on one big tree, and like it swings around like a giant mace of death and kills stuff. It sounds super sick, and I will agree, it's super situational. But I think for me, I'm going to put this, you know, I think initially I was like, you'll stop a rowdy mob because it will, but kind of because you have to put it in a certain place on a certain tree. I'm going to put this with the catapult. Can be useful, but probably not for defending your base. It's super situational. Most of us build, you know, as far as I guess I maybe don't, maybe I'm the stupid one. But for the most of us, like, we build in the woods, we build near these trees, all that kind of stuff. This can find its use, especially if you have like a funnel. Like, this could find some great use. But at the same time, like, if they just don't go near that tree, then your trap kind of sucks, right? It's kind of like the noose trap. It's not really gonna do anything. But I think with the damage it can do once it gets triggered, has to kind of put it up there with the catapult, so it's almost useless, but when it gets used, it's like really effective. So for me, I'm gonna put this in the C tier. That can be useful, but probably not defending your base. It's really like, you know, a 50-50. And beside that, I'm also gonna put the leaf trap. Now you can literally just put like 50 leaves on the ground. You make this trap and you can set them on fire, and honestly, it's not super useful. It'll burn players, it'll burn cannibals, you know, all that kind of stuff. It probably should be in the tier below, but you can chain these. Like, you can just put them in big lines. You can make continual like leaf traps, and they will ignite each other. Like, it'll make like a big ring of fire. So like, you know, as an initial defense, if you have like a big wave coming, like maybe this is useful, or you have like a specific like tunnel or something like that. I don't know what it is, but just like that epic visual of just like the ring of fire, this one probably got a little bit of a bump because of my imagination, not even because of the game. But I gotta say, leaf traps for me are C tier. They're fun. They can make some cool imagery. They're gonna burn out pretty quick, and they're not gonna be super useful after a while. But like, you know, the initial light's fun. So there we go, C tier. Next in the C tier as well, I gotta put the effigies. Effigies actually provide no technical defense. They're not actually a defense, but they're a deterrent. You build these by chopping up a bunch of cannibals that you've killed, and after you've killed so many, you'll unlock the effigy page, and you can start to build these. I also believe you can burn them to make them more effective. Don't quote me on that. I think I've maybe done it once. But you build these around your base, and it has a chance to scare cannibals away. I believe it's just cannibals. I don't think mutants care. Now that chance is really cool if you're trying to keep them away from an area. You can build. I don't think they can break them either. I think they're not destructible by enemies. Someone let me know in the comments if I'm correct or not. But these are great if you just want stuff to stay away from your crap. You know, you might just need people not to touch your walls, you know, or if you just want to take it a little bit beyond, you know, game usefulness. If you just want to role play as like the hardcore, I wish I was a murderer in the mainland, but now I have a license to kill, bro. I mean, you can just stack these things up everywhere and make yourself look like a post-apocalyptic warlord. That's not, I mean, that fantasy is pretty nice. So you're not gonna stop Rowdy Mob with this, but I don't think cannibals are laughing at it. I personally, if I found my friend's head on like a stick, I don't know if I'd be laughing too much. So I'm gonna put these that they can be useful, but they're probably not defending your base. All right, and then also right beside those, I have to put like the basic wall. Now, I definitely wouldn't put it up here as like a solid defense that you would want to use in building structures. However, these are basic. These are great for making routes to better places. So let's say you build your base on a cliffside or like under whatever, and you need an escape route. You can use these to like build upwards, and they stack, and you can put like the climbing ropes on them and stuff, so you can use them to get to elevated places. Maybe you put your base up there. So they're really useful. Like they're not worthless. Cannibals, you know, aren't if you tried to build defenses out of them, they're probably laughing at you. But they're a great little like piece to put in your base to get to new levels and kind of build into sides of like hills and mountains and stuff like that. So I recommend them. I think they're great. They're not defending you, but they're going to help you get to the better defenses or more advantageous, you know, like sniping spots, all that kind of stuff. So I would keep them in your repertoire. Just don't try to build your walls out of it. Next up, we have the rock wall, and I gotta put this one at you'll stop a Rowdy Mob. When I was talking earlier about the defensive wall, and I said it's like a great thing and you want to build it or whatever, for me, in my experience, so this one you guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments if I'm completely wrong. This is a great alternative. I don't think it has as much health as I think it has the same or more than the regular defense wall. I don't think it has as much as the fortified spike wall, the defensive wall with spikes on it. I don't think it has that much, but this has been a great alternative. Now you do need to build it like 3 high at least, because at 2 high, I feel like the athletic cannibals can just, you know, yeet right into your base, and you don't want that. But every time I've used this and I've built them 3 high, I've never had them destroyed. I'm not saying that they can't be destroyed. I'm just saying personally, I've never had it happen. So for me, I actually choose rock wall most of the time instead of building these like the regular wood defenses. I feel more secure. It's a complete placebo effect, but like you can make great little outlines with them. You can stack them 3 high. You can build the outlines on top of each other, making it easy. You can technically just keep stacking these, I believe. Like you can make some really cool stuff with this. So you're definitely gonna stop Rowdy Mob for you. They were almost S tier for me because of personal experience, but I believe I read that you can break them. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to lie to you. So this is a B tier. You'll stop a Rowdy Mob, an excellent choice for building. And that leads us to our very last item, the Happy Birthday Trap. And I gotta say, for me, the Happy Birthday Trap is absolutely S tier. This item is absolutely wonderful. It doubles as a barricade, so it's like a one-hit kill to like all mutants. It's like the best defense against a Virginia and an Armsy. Once it snaps, it literally acts as a barricade. I don't think they can destroy the offset version, or it's very difficult. So it acts as a barricade, so you're basically getting a wall when the trap's not up. It takes 1 stick to reset, and it's super easy to make these. Like if I was going to tell you to build my perfect easy base, I'm sure there's some cheese base out there, but if I was going to tell you this is what I would build my base out of, you know, I'd build my house, my gardens, all that kind of stuff. Around it, I'd put a defensive wall with like on the very outer edge. I'd put like the defensive wall with the spikes. Then I'd put like the actual like crisscross spike defense, like spike defense walls. And then the inner circle, I would have the stone walls, and around everything else, I would just have just a mixture of these 2 traps. And most bases that I build basically end up that way. I have my spike walls, my defensive walls, and on the outside of all that is literally those 2 traps. Any other trap does not matter. Any other trap, not nearly as effective. Don't like it. These are super easy to make, super simple to reset. You know, Cade, right here, can you please insert a little bit of just a small tiny bit just to show like the body count? I don't know. of our session the other day, of our base testing this out. Now, if this doesn't make it into the video, find a way to edit around this. But if it does, check this out. This is awesome. Check this. So, like I said, man, these two traps are S tier because they basically pay for themselves, and everything else you can see how it breaks down here. But that is going to be our trap and defense tier list. What do you think? Do you agree? Did we mess up on something? Do you use something that I didn't mention? Did you use something that I said sucks and you think it's great? Let me know in the comments below. I would absolutely love to engage with you guys there. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It really means a lot to us here. And if you want more awesome content and playthroughs and stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. And, you know, if you got a friend that plays the forest, share this with them. That would be awesome. But that is going to be it for the videos today. We will see you guys in the next one. And I hope you have a wonderful time until we meet again. Have a great day. Bye.